The thing that baffles me is that the Swiss talk about money, business transactions, products on sales, and some other financial stuff. But when it comes to salary, please don't even go there. Hello, lovelies. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you are onto Heleric's World. And on this channel, I talk about immigration tips. I also share different content on Switzerland and my experience as a foreigner who has been living here for about 8 years now. If you love contents like this, do subscribe to this channel and click on the bell notification button to be notified each time I upload a new video. And to my returning subscribers, it's awesome having you back. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 7 things you should know before coming to Switzerland. Different countries have different ways of doing things. So if you are interested in visiting Switzerland, it would be wise to know the custom of the country and things you might want to watch out for. Some of the things I would be talking about today are things I wished someone had told me about before I moved into Switzerland, as it would have saved me some embarrassing situations in the past. The first on my list is the legal currency of the country. As you guys probably know, Switzerland is not a member of the European Union, and as a result, they do not accept the euro as a means of payment, unlike the neighboring countries such as Germany, Italy, France, and Austria, where the euro is used. Here in Switzerland, the only legal currency accepted is the Swiss francs. The Swiss franc is the official currency in the country and generally accepted all over the country. Prices of goods are usually displayed, preceded by the 3-letter currency code CHF, which literally means Swiss francs for short. Although you can theoretically pay with the euro in most places, such as departmental stores, many shops, hotels, restaurants, and souvenir shops, I would highly recommend that you use the Swiss franc. This is because the exchange rate of the Swiss francs to the euro offered in business places is often very unfavorable. In fact, in cases where you even have to pay in euro, your change will be given back to you in Swiss francs. It is therefore advisable that when purchasing goods and services in Switzerland, you use the Swiss franc. And for the dollar, the US dollar is generally not accepted in the country. Number 2 is the question you should never ask a Swiss person. In certain cultures, money is a topic that people openly discuss about. Virtually everyone seems to know how much their friends and colleagues earn, but this is, however, not the case in Switzerland. Here, there is no wage transparency, so the subject of salary and wages is something that shouldn't be brought up in any discussion because it might end up leading to misunderstanding. So if you want to start a casual conversation with a Swiss, for instance, please don't begin by asking, "So how much do you make monthly?" If you wish that friendship continues, just avoid asking about their salary. In fact, in workplaces, it is against the work ethics to tell your colleagues how much your salary is, because 2 people employed the same day and doing the same job may have different salary depending on negotiation power. The thing that baffles me is that the Swiss talk about money, business transactions, products on sales, and some other financial stuff, but when it comes to salary, please don't even go there. The third on my list is when and when not to do your laundry. In almost every building in Switzerland, there is a shared laundry room for tenants who do not have washing machines installed in their apartments. All the tenants who use the laundry have their scheduled day of washing, and no one is usually scheduled to wash or dry their clothes on Sundays because this day is considered as a designated day to rest in Switzerland, and so it is forbidden to wash on this day of the week. Same applies to doing household chores such as vacuuming or lawning the grasses in the garden. If you don't want to risk the neighbor's angry look or a dispute, you have to abide by this law. So talking about a neighbor's frown, this takes me to the fourth point on my list, which is entering your host house without taking off your shoes. It is often considered by hosts in Switzerland as rude when you keep your shoes on while you are inside their houses. Here, you are generally expected to remove your shoes when entering the apartment or houses. In most cases, there are a collection of slippers beside the door which you are expected to wear inside the apartment. However, if your host categorically mentions that you are allowed to keep on your shoes, then you can go in with them. In the area of hygiene, I'm strongly in support of this law as it prevents dirt and germs from coming into the living space. Personally, I prefer to take off my shoes in my own house and other people's houses, as wearing shoes that you have worn outside the house is not very hygienic. Just imagine all the things those shoes have stepped on throughout the day. The fifth on my list may sound ridiculous, but it is the reality. That is, you must never hesitate to ask for help when you need it. As a tourist or someone just moving in, you must have it at the back of your mind that whenever you need help or direction, you should not hesitate to ask, because no one will come to your aid, even though it is obvious that you look confused and helpless. In some countries, people will walk up to you and offer to help if they notice that you are in a mess. It is not here in Switzerland. People will rarely come to you to ask if you need assistance. I don't know, but probably they just don't want to poke nose in your affairs. The number 6 on my list is weighing your vegetables or fruits before going to the cashier. Guys, you must know that not weighing your vegetables or fruits before going to the cashier is not acceptable in Switzerland. In the supermarket here, you usually have to weigh your vegetables and fruits before heading towards the cashier area. Usually in the supermarket, there are scales positioned very close to the section where you can buy these items. But if in a situation whereby you failed to weigh your items, or you didn't know that you ought to have done that, that will make the cashier to get up from her seat to get the items weighed for you before coming back to the counter, which obviously they don't like, because you are going to be keeping people waiting on the queue while your items are being weighed. If you are not lucky enough, you may be asked to go back and weigh the items yourself, depending on who is there at the counter. It took me time to get used to this weighing system. As somebody born and raised in Nigeria, I had always bought my fruits and vegetables from the open street markets. And over there, you bargain with the seller, you don't weigh the items. And the last on my list is going out without checking the weather forecast. The weather in Switzerland is rarely consistent. One moment it can be sunny when you look outside through the window, and then you think that it's going to be a sunny day all through, seeing the clear skies, while the next moment it can be cloudy and raining. The same is true the other way around. If it's raining or cloudy right now, there is the possibility that the weather will be much better a few hours later. So be sure to take a quick look at the weather forecast before scheduling your programs in order to avoid been disappointed. So these are my top 7 things you must know if you intend moving into Switzerland. And for you guys already living here, please feel free to add more to this list in the comment section below. And do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.